All right, let's do
People
a quick
lose out
test.
their fault.
Okay, hang on. I think I got the mic to work. All right, so we got the mic. All right, let's do a quick test. Okay. All right. So just let us know. Can you hear me now? And can you hear Moss?
I hear you in both my left ear and right ear.
What? Spencer? I'm
I
talking
hear
to
you
the.
both.
I figured you can hear me. I'm asking if the chat can hear us. Audio's working. All right, there we go. I fixed it. So,
Please, chat, don't leave me alone with these two guys.
Moss!
Don't worry, we fight.
A lot.
Yeah, I'm scared.
Hard.
I was thinking a lot more Vines or TikTok, so like two guys just chilling, and one of them does like something like kind of promiscuous and gay, and the other just gives him like a face, like yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's really funny. I'm like, where did this come from? Why is it only needed? Here we are, threatening with mouth to body action.
So, since apparently we didn't do introductions, I'm just going to do a fast one. Hey guys, it's another episode of What the Fell. With me is Moss from last time, and our DM that we talked about the whole stream on how wonderful his world is and everything, Spencer.
Hi.
And we are here today to annoy Spencer.
Well,
It's true.
Tuesday, we had to bring him on Wednesday as well.
it's because we care so much about him.
Yeah. Honestly, we've been working with Spencer in this like wacky little adventure world he's made since like 2 years ago or more actually.
Has it been?
So,
Is it coming up to 2 years, or has it been longer, Spencer?
I think the first campaign for the whole area started back in 2019, according to the old Discord logs.
Okay. Dang.
But you came in on the second one, I believe.
Yeah. That I do remember. For the second. And then just the world itself is fantastic.
Well,
yeah.
back when it first started, the world itself was constrained to just Lionsgate. It has grown exponentially from there.
It did it. Yeah. Are you happy you left Lionsgate behind? Because it was a huge plot point of the second adventure as well. But then now in the third one, we basically just left.
Yeah, pretty much. It's nice to be in other places, exploring other parts of the world, and exploring the craziness of my insane mind.
The continent, Tarnia.
Tarnia, yes.
So what is the name of the world then?
I'll get back to you on that.
That's the word.
It's kind of like
Earth, no.
it's like Paizo. I'm using example as Paizo. Like they actually the name of the world that you play in is called Galar, and then they have all the different countries. But it's also because they have Starfinder, so they needed to give the Galar a planet name.
In 5e, something is called Faerun. I don't know if it's like the continent or the whole planet. I think it's the continent.
I can say truthfully that I have briefly played Starfinder. I still don't know how the system works at all, but I have briefly played it.
Did you enjoy it?
I didn't get to play it long enough. I was
Are you? Let me double check what's going on here. Properties. All right, try talking now, guys.
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 All right, is that better? Why are there two mosses? Why is there an evil moss on screen?
It's Moss and mucho Moss.
I don't know. I'm warming up. I do weird shit just to
Oh, you should have told.
Moss.
Oh, we should have sent Spencer the image of what we drew the last time.
Uh-oh.
Of the chameleon or the
The warm up,
doodles?
the doodles.
I did save them, so let me open them up.
Yeah, I mean,
It's getting crazier and crazier. I love it.
this is one of my streams. It's just going. Ooh, there's bad echo. Okay, let me. It's probably on my end. Give me a sec here.
Where the fuck is it? Oh, yeah. I did hear myself for a second there.
Is that better,
here we are.
guys?
You probably recognize this bad boy.
Oh, boy.
It's your favorite.
Both of them are.
It's my boy.
Oh, they're echoing? What the frick is going on?
Being bad hosts.
Well, no. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Oh, no echo now. Okay, there was a delay.
Yeah, but
But
now
yeah,
you're kind
no.
of gravelly.
We drew the skeleton because he was so impactful to us.
Traumatizing, you mean?
Well, I mean, we legit had someone die, and I think
That's true.
that is legit the first time you've killed a player, like legit killed a player, not down but killed.
Technically, there were some dead adventurers we found that at some point were players, so...
Well, okay, but do they count?
No, but, Look, it's the thing, the MacGuffin we're gonna get. You can tell we really were talking about that campaign. There's Sal and Gash. There's the 3 medallions we need to get. There's this bastard. I don't think this was anything.
I don't remember
Yoshi
what
with
that
the
was.
knife, that's totally in there.
Yeah. A lot of lizard folk, so, we had to talk about it.
Yeah. Just all the warm-up sketches from last
Just so
time.
you know, you haven't seen lizard folk in a while. Just putting that out there.
Miss them. They were cool.
Yeah. We have not. Speaking of that, speaking of races and everything, Spencer, what is your favorite race in 5e?
I honestly haven't had many experiences as a player to make that call.
Oh,
That's sad.
Oh shit! How many players?
so you've
have
been
I
a forever DM then.
Pretty much. I've played a Tabaxi. That's about it.
Like, there was a human, but in Pathfinder, so...
Yeah, that's Pathfinder though.
I
D&D
guess,
specifically,
yeah.
I played Tabaxi in one of Zed's campaigns.
You
I
played
also
the-
played in 3.5 edition of D&D, Thissa.
You played an elf in Death House.
Oh, that's right. I played Daenerys Whisperwind, who is an elf from wherever. But
I was
I
scoured
survived
at that
the Death House.
Death
Well,
House is
dude.
one of those that it's just, I keep hearing it's really, really tough.
Is it?
Like, if the
Yeah,
DM,
allegedly, it's very,
Killy.
Well, if your DM
Pathfinder.
runs it straight from the book, it's super. We're gonna murder your face.
To be fair, Zed gave us a level before we even got to the place there, so it's just like, yeah, fight these things, and okay, now you have an extra level. Okay.
Yeah, I think he was giving you guys a head like.
Yeah, I think everybody was like alerted that this was gonna be a Killy. Like, you might die definitely in this campaign, but here's some help. It's like fighting the final boss. Like there were like rumbling pieces of debris hitting the monster and us, but you know, like all those factors kind of were like a huge help.
Who was in the Death House one? Were you there, Moss?
Yes, I was playing a little angry dwarf lady that went down in the final boss, and your character saved her. Thank you.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
There was a mute orc. There was a monk lady.
Who hated my guts.
I think so, yeah. There was you.
I wasn't sure if the player hated me or just the monk lady, so
Who was the player?
I don't know. I don't remember.
The monk was fucking. It's like right there in the tip of my tongue. It's Nephi.
Neffy?
Jade, I think. I don't know. Then they go by Nephi.
Jade. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. And I don't know if that was someone else, honestly. Because I think we were 5. I don't remember the other character. Like, I'm trying my best to remember them. Was it just us 4?
Maybe.
I feel like I'm missing something. We did get a cat at some point.
Yeah.
A 3-legged cat that we were meant to sacrifice in order to survive, but we were like, nah.
So Yoshimin asked a interesting question to technically me, but I'm going to open up for everyone. So this is going to be through all systems. Top 5 favorite races. So any system you've played.
Any system we've played. Why don't we start with Moss? Because I need to think about this.
Yeah,
fucking bastard.
I can go
Fine.
first to give you guys some time because I can spiel a little bit.
Alright, let me think.
So
5th place.
So as Moss is going to work on his, I would say some of mine, and it's going to be I'm going to use different systems just because I think the flavor of the race can also change depending on the system you play. I have to say one of them is definitely Tiefling through Pathfinder. Don't get me wrong, Tieflings in 5e are interesting, but the way that Pathfinder has handled some of the different versions of Tieflings that enables a lot more flavors you can get away with. It's so much fun. I would have to say Dragonborn is one of my other favorite races. I love Dragonborns so much. And then I would say, do I want to throw a curveball and just say I want a Dark Angel from Deathwatch? No, that's not right.
Quick, summon the Edgelord police. Woo!
Hey. It was one of those like temporary games, but Catfolk actually is one of my favorite it was my first character that I made was Catfolk, and Catfolks have always held a special place in my heart that I have wanted to do either a Tabaxian 5e or Catfolk in Pathfinder again. So I've said Tiefling, Dragonborn, Catfolk. I gotta say half elves are always fun. Anything half is definitely fun. And then I think my number 1 is actually going to be goblins. Goblins are so much fun. I seriously need to play as a goblin character. One of these times. I just love the idea that there's so many different ways you can do goblins, and then how more systems are allowing goblins just to be instead like the pests, but you can also play as them. It's always fun. So, Moss, I see you're working on your list.
Yeah, I'm like, I made it harder myself going like from 5 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to think like what's next in the list. So I'm like having to double take a lot. I'm definitely sure that dwarves are my favorite just because you know they're dwarves. Fuck yeah. Like dwarves are like raunchy pieces of shit, but they're also like very honorable, hardworking, and even though they're like kind of xenophobic, they don't like mind making new friends. It just takes time. So they're stubborn and shit, but like you know they got your back when it comes down to it. So it's like tsundere race. So, that's great. Halflings are fun loving, so that's a happy-go-lucky adventuring character right there. The only problem with halflings is like they write down that why would they ever want to leave their homes? Like this is just the Hobbit essentially. My favorite classes are the Hobbit characters, but like there's maybe that tinge of like adventure in them. It's like oh, but just one time, and they go into a big adventure, and they're like, I never want to do this again. But you know, they get there. I'm I'm biased because I play a lot of Warcraft 3, but that's a completely different beast to what D&D Orc is like. So maybe I have to like relinquish them. Human can go here because humans are like as basic bitches as humans are in like almost all fucking tabletop roleplay. They still hold a special place in my heart as being like, you know, the go-to factor for when you just have the concept and you don't care about much like the ethnicity and race and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Fifth place I put Dragonborn because I think they're cool, but I'm pretty sure there should be something else there. I also thought about Goblin because, you know, little green bastards. Or kobolds because they're tiny lizard bastards.
Yeah.
So I'll come back to you about these two.
Yeah, that's fine. And then what about you, Spencer?
I can cheat at this.
I could cheat.
I have played exactly 5 races in all of my tabletop experience.
And if it works, you went to them for a reason.
Yes, I've played a human, which was probably, I don't know, number 5. I played a dragonkin in Starfinder called Brookie Bossa Nova. Was an engineer. That was an interesting time. As short and brief as it was enjoyable. I played an elf. I played, of course, a lizard folk, and I played a tabaxi. And of all of those, I'd say my favorite was the tabaxi because that was just so much fun going against character, especially for the class archetype, and just like, yes, he's a cat. He does cat things and gets in trouble. Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely always one of those that, I mean, don't get me wrong. I've played as different. I've had different ideas for different races. I've played a bunch of yes, I've played a bunch of humans, but human is not my favorite race. Human is just one of those good default races at times to play as.
The basic bitch of tabletop.
Yeah, it really is. But actually, Spencer, aren't you doing Strahd?
Am I?
Yeah, I think you're going to do Strahd with Moss.
Yeah, I think said that you're gonna be one of the players he'd like to have.
Oh.
Yeah. So you and
it's
I are gonna trade blows again together.
with Forte
No.
this time.
Yeah, Forte.
Oh no.
It's gonna be fun. We're gonna go to a very trendy place and make a lot of puns and make the setting completely right.
I would join you in your madness, except I'm already playing Strahd. So
Dun, dun, dun.
Are you winning, son?
I think so. I am half convinced I may have to kill one of my party members, though.
Like in real life, or
No, as in character. No, I love the player.
Okay.
No, I'm half convinced I have to kill the party, the character. My character's gonna have to kill his character.
We're gonna kill the entire party.
Well, long story short, let's just say he has some crazy ideas, and he's turned evil recently.
oh,
Fair. You know what? That's understandable. Carry on. Gotta have an evil character.
I support this.
Your free trial of Living Hex expired.
Pay 15 gold, or your subscription will be voided.
Yeah, I know that Forte is doing a tiefling paladin.
Don't tell too much. I would like it to be a surprise.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not giving away everything. I'm just telling you the basic. That's all I know.
Okay, that's fair. I did tell you what I want to play, but I'm trying to keep it away from everybody else.
Yeah, well. Oh no, it's a tiefling.
Well, fine, you know. I went a human. Yay.
I'll take a look at it later, Yoshimin, but thank you. Oh god. So Spencer, actually legit question since we're talking about games.
Uh-oh.
We're going to talk about your world a little bit.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Oh, here we go.
So, what inspired you to run the world originally for the first game you ever did?
Okay, so my first D&D experience was an experience. I forget who was in that game, but a good friend of mine, his name's, we call him Jax. I think you might have met him once or twice. I think he was actually in the,
Yes, he was in Eye of the Ibis.
yeah,
He was
very
the
start of
orc.
that.
He was
He
in
was
the
an orc.
beginning.
Half orc,
But-
sorry.
Yeah, he was a
But,
half orc.
He had to leave because he was not like meeting up the time allotted.
Yeah.
So he was like,
Well-
sorry guys.
Jax had run a campaign, and this was my first D&D experience for 3.5 edition for D&D, and that's where the character of Thissa was born. Was as a fighter / dragoon for that system, and it had some silly backstory or whatever, and we ended up having an interesting experience. I learned later that we were pretending to play D&D because it was Jax's first time DMing, and none of us had any grasp on what the rules actually were. So it's just like, but it got me interested. But I didn't come back to it for a long time. I want to say a year maybe, until I finally decided, you know what? I just want to go out and see if I can't pick up some of these books and just kind of look at this, and what happens. So I went out, I purchased the Player's Handbook as well as the Dungeon Master's Guide and the Monster Manual, and using the Holy Trifecta, I got it in my head. You know, I want to host a session. So that was the birth of the Last Light campaign. It was brief. Although I did get one of my favorite moments that I've had so far from that. I think Zed actually made a video on it. But you know the one.
When I fucking clicked that one of our player characters in the Death House was that player, I went ham on them. I was so pissed off. It was such
Mason.
a-
It was
yeah,
Mason. That was
Mason
our fifth.
doing it. What? No, we're playing a mute orc. I counted that one. Okay, let me look at something.
But yeah, that was the last light campaign that got started, and it was a disaster, I'm sure. But that wrapped up, ended early because schedules couldn't align, and took a break for a little while, and decided, you know what, I kind of want to get back into it. I want to try this again, and we'll go a little lighter on the whole maps thing, and that ended up not being the case, but whatever. But yeah, I got back into it, started the Eye of the Ibis campaign, and just been going constantly from there.
Yeah, no, it's been really enjoyable. I know that, like, my first experience with any tabletop was actually, I think I talked about this last time, but I'm not sure, but it was Pathfinder. Forte was a player with me, except we had the DM who was the biggest fucking asshole who hated. It was also my brother's first experience, and the DM hated him.
Oh,
So it turned into kind of one of those. His character died.
rocks fall, only you die.
Well, he drew from the deck of many things.
You're magnetic to rocks.
So
To be fair, you're asking for it if you draw from that deck.
yeah, there is a better version of it, but I don't want to spoil where. So, I remember my first time DMing was I had just finished the first ever campaign with Forte as the DM for Serpent Skull, and a couple books caught my attention that I thought would be really, really fun, that I would like to actually run again. Hell's Rebels. And oh my god, that I had my ups, I had my downs. I was so new to DMing. It was so tough. I made so many mistakes. I also had some very interesting players. I had like 2 players leave the table. A lot of it was for good reasons, but I don't really want to talk about that here. I'll tell you guys more in private, because, yeah. Oh boy.
What's a party without drama?
I'll put it this way. One of the players literally, you know, those like worst player stories.
Don't tell me you had the Grognard.
I had Edgelord.
Edgelord. Oh boy.
I had Edgelord.
Oh, fun.
I had Edgelord. So that and his opinions on stuff was not good for the table. But I ran a couple other games, and I've definitely, being a player and then DMing and trying different systems has I think trying different systems is always fun to me. And then I'm also the crazy person like, hey, who wants to play Call of Cthulhu? I'm gonna DM it. I have no idea how to play. Let's learn together.
I've almost wanted to go that route for Lancer. Because I have the PDF. I've never played the game before. I'd like to learn how to run it. I have an idea of what to do. It's just like,
I watched a few videos on Lancer, but if you're interested in running it, I'm always willing. I'm one of those people. I'm willing to try a new system all the time.
Oh, you're one of those people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's fine.
I mean, look at this. I've played Death Watch, which, oh my god, D100 system. Like, if you thought Pathfinder 2e character sheets were a nightmare, Oh my god, Death Watch character sheets make you want to rip your hair out. They're 4 pages long.
Oof.
And that's like, this is your armor stuff. This is your weapon stuff. This is your special abilities. Oh, this is what happens if you health on your arm, your arm health, your chest health, all sorts of stuff.
Have you ever played Shadowrun?
I have not played Shadowrun.
Okay, so similar situation. Shadowrun is interesting. I have the books for 5th edition. I've never played. I read through them. It is a hot mess.
Oh god.
I got invited to try Vampire the Masquerade once. I actually legit wanted to give it a shot. Just when they wanted to meet up was just not working because of work. They were meeting during the day. I'm at work during the day. But I had the funny idea of like doing a hippie vampire. Just stoned out of his mind vampire.
Gotta drink that alternative blood, man.
Yeah, like doesn't even
Locally
know
grown.
doesn't even know he's a fucking vampire.
Gotta chow down on some llamas, man.
Whoa, dude.
I would love to give that a shot one of those days, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But
Maybe a one shot.
maybe a one yeah, a one shot would be fun. I mean, there's definitely like some one shots I wanted to try. There's an Alien tabletop game that I wanted to try.
Roll for chest eggs.
That is a thing.
Oh god. No. No.
You can play as an android or a human, so it's always fun. So, actually, Spencer, what kind of dog did you want your dog to be for your dog folk?
I was thinking a Sheltie. Because my family's always gotten Shelties, and I absolutely adore the animals.
Was there ever a game that you wanted to cast black? Oh.
Shelties are great. We had, I think, a crossbreed of a Sheltie with something else, but we never could find the other half.
Well, a Sheltie is a crossbreed between a Border Collie and a Shetland Sheepdog.
That is cute.
Shetland sheep. Well, show me a fucking.
But they often have this little white spot on their foreheads that is absolutely adorable.
See, the more that you want to do a dog race, dude, the more I'm like, Spencer, why don't you try Pathfinder 2e with us? You could
I
totally...
mean, I have like the core manual. I just don't want to read it.
Well, you don't have to read it to play, technically.
Famous last words.
Okay. It's just more recently they've added a couple books that are really good, but the race that your paladin could work is a race called Shunies. And it's literally small dog people.
Yeah, I figure. Which is funny because Shelties are technically kind of a small to medium breed.
Yeah, no.
So it works.
It's one of those that I'm a little disappointed that so Paizo released one of their new books to give a couple more of their current races and add a couple more races, you know, more flavors. They didn't do anything for Shunies.
How do you improve on perfection?
I don't know. You could make perfection better.
That's just ridiculous.
No, it's easy. You just put a tiny little hat on it.
Every Shuni comes with their own hat.
Free hat. Moss, what version of Photoshop are you using?
This is not Photoshop. This is Fire Alpaca.
Oh.
It's like a that's allegedly a love child between Photoshop and Paint Tool Sai.
Yeah, no, I know exactly which one you're talking about. It's just like, huh.
It's free, so I'm using it.
Well, hell, why not?
Can't be going around fucking paying for Photoshop, Adobe bullshit. And Sai, I never liked too much either. So, I did try fucking Clip Studio. It's like, I don't care how people say that it's super, like, unintuitive. I see the fucking bunch of menus and shit that the first time I open it, and I'm like, what do I do with this? I'm fucking so confused. It's like,
Okay,
it's super
I'm totally with you there because I used to be on CS5 because I bought a copy of CS5 off of Zed because it was his old copy for like $25, which is a huge deal.
That's a steal.
Yeah, that's an absolutely phenomenal steal, and I learned to do digital drawing using that thing and picked up Control Paint and other things and kind of got a passion for concept art through all that. But my computer died and I had to replace it, and the new computer didn't have a CD-ROM drive, so I couldn't load up CS5. So I had to switch to Clip Studio Paint instead, and I just...
I mean, couldn't you? Okay, question: why didn't you buy just an external?
Because... Yeah. That's
Hindsight 2020.
Not hindsight 2020. Just I really don't want to.
It's okay. My computer doesn't
it's
have.
It's 2020 and 2021, my dude. CDs are such a thing of the past that I doubt anybody uses them anymore. It's kind of crazy.
Should have, because I found some old CDs full of like fuck music I used to listen to.
Yeah,
like a bunch of ridiculous.
I have a bunch of those on my shelf right now, and I have nothing to play them on. Except maybe my like DVD-ROM player or something.
Yeah, I could play it on the stereo downstairs, but like, I'm not gonna torture my family with my weird music taste back of like 10 years ago. Was super into like video game soundtracks and shit like that. I still am, but back then, like when I was little, I was so into the idea of like, combat music and shit like that. So like I would save like boss music and shit like that, or remixes I would find like Newgrounds and places. So I fucking go and open them, and my ears start bleeding because of how fucking crusty they are. Back then, probably was like the hype as shit, and now it's like, oh god, it's so crusty. Bits are fucking hitting me.
I am the same way about OC Remix, man. When I was growing up, that was my thing. Go to OC Remix, download some hype video game tracks, and listen to them all the time. And I go back to some of those old tracks, and I think, yeah, that's a hit of nostalgia. But knowing what I know now about music, it's just like, oh, that's a default instrument.
It's funny because I listen to definitely a lot of all sorts of music. It's only more recently have I got a chance to listen to a lot of video game music more so. I always had to mute my video games and whatnot just because sometimes I didn't want my mom to know I was still playing video games.
Naughty.
I mean, and then
playing video games. Tisk.
Tis. You're staying up so late, Fel, playing video games. No. That's a no. You can't do that.
You go to jail now. No. I maybe would stay up late drawing and get scolded. And in school, I would like not do homework and instead draw. And like the worst thing they could do to me is take away my sketchbook, and I honestly would fucking panic. I would go, honestly, would just paralyze in place. Because
That
then
is
I wouldn't know
oddly
what the fuck to
adorable.
do about the homework or whatever, because I didn't pay attention, of course. Now I don't even have the chance to draw. I even draw on the table. Because like, well, they can't take away my pencil because I need it for the test. So I should just fucking draw on the table and use the eraser to get rid of it.
Should have drawn on the test.
Never dared to do that. I felt that was too much. Disrespectful.
Which is the correct answer? Drawing this one.
I actually do like that. What you have on screen right now, Moss. That is adorable.
I love him.
What are you gonna name them?
Them?
Well, I don't know if it's a boy or girl.
It's a boy. It's Tucker.
Tucker.
Tucker Van Mora.
Oh, you had a name all set. I went in last week with a lizard folk concept, and I was like, I have no idea what I want them to be yet. I just know I want them to do this cool stuff. Let's draw that.
Tucker Van Mora is a paladin of redemption.
Oh, a pacifist, essentially.
He was a bad boy once.
No.
Now he's trying to be a better boy.
Bad boy.
I think one of the other my favorite memes when people make some dog characters is like, I got tired of waiting, so I'm looking for my master. Like,
Yeah.
oh, what was it? Shoot.
My master went on a long journey and he hasn't returned. I'm going off to look for him.
Yeah.
The character was treated up was just a dog with a sword. Like fucking Sith from Dark Souls kind of deal. Except with a tiny Shiva dog holding a sword in its mouth going...
Together they make one person.
They
Together
stack
they
up
are
each.
Pokemon.
Dawn of Redemption. Those are like the most like defensive ones, I think. It's like they don't attack as often, but it's like you attack them, you get hurt bad.
They're the kind of people who see the good in people.
Mm-hmm.
They're not stupid.
I will extend handy friendship, and if you bite it, I will bite hard. I will bite back harder because that's the game you want to play. I'll play.
You don't want to see the bad dog.
I want to go back to
I
the
swore
dark
I'd
place.
never be bad again. But if you push me.
I peed on the carpet once. Never again.
Just because I'm a paladin doesn't mean I'm perfect.
That's good. Float paladin is a great character concept. I have to do with the morals of my beliefs and blah blah blah.
I think that's always an interesting thing with paladins. You either run into people who portray paladins really fun, or you run into lawful stupid.
Yeah.
I think lawful stupid is such a bad way to portray something like that because it's like there's a lot of depth of character there that you just don't get to explore. What's wrong with being someone good?
What's wrong with, like, I get you're trying to follow your oath, but there's a point of like overdoing it, I think.
I mean, following the oath is like, you know, very in character for a paladin to do.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's like, I am pushing it to extreme just to like, you know, make a fucking joke about it. Like, rarely I feel that you should like really push yourself to like obeying oaths or like alignment. It should be a good reminder of what your character is about, but never like, you know, the set in stone kind of deal.
Is it a saber-tooth? No, no, no. That's not a saber-tooth dog. That's... The chat is asking if this is a saber-tooth dog. No. It's a Pomeranian.
It's not a palm.
Excuse you.
It's a border collie. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's a Sheltie.
Sheltie. I was close.
I have a funny joke. Watch this. This is comedy gold right there. Oh, they're quite puffy in their legs as well.
Are very the bone. I love it.
That's a placeholder. Don't worry.
It's a paladin of Kellumbor.
Work. I unburied a corpse. That was a very bad thing to do. I was looking for bones, man. Don't judge me.
I dug up a grave just so I could get a bone. It was delicious and I regret it.
Delicious.
It was the
Oh,
best
that's
bone.
cruel. That's cruel.
Someone's asking if there's a saber-tooth dog. In game. I don't think there is a saber-tooth dog. I don't think that's a thing.
I'm not familiar enough with 2E to tell you.
I don't think
anything
that's a
about
thing in 2E or 5E at all. I mean, someone could make up a saber-tooth dog. I just don't know how a saber-tooth dog would work.
I think there's a deer that has sharp teeth, but never seen a dog like with that. I think there was a deer that just kind of has like a pair of fangs, like bleh, or like bleh. They look really emaciated. Most of the photos I've seen of those.
Yeah, I just don't need... So it's a dog face with really long teeth. Like, would they be... That would suck for the dog.
Yeah, how would it eat anything?
Okay,
Well, I think...
Like, this reminds me of a Digimon, actually.
I mean, yes, it would be a Digimon, but that's a...
It's Wolfstramon!
Yeah, something like that.
Wolfstramon, Digivolve to something unspeakable horror-mon.
Well, no. It's just Metal Wolfdramon.
Metal Wolfstramon.
You turn into a fucking like Power Ranger guy, you turn into a knight, or you turn into a giant fucking monster.
Or a literal pile of shit.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. It's like a golden shits that just fucking.
Hey, that actually
Okay,
is
so
a Digimon.
I actually bought on Switch the Digimon RPG that they produced.
Oh, the Cyber Sleuth?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I've played it.
That is actually a legitimately good game, and I got a real education on all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, 12-year-old me would be so into this.
Oh, okay. I'm the biggest Digimon nerd. So I like Cyber Sleuth is really good. I'm waiting for the new Digimon game that was supposed to come out last year, but it's been delayed till who knows when.
Oh, there's a new one?
It's going to be more traditional JRPG though.
Oh, well, there's nothing wrong with that.
And then the card game just came out, so I'm a big card game nerd. So
Oh,
I've been
no.
building new decks here based on some of the Digimon.
Oh my god, that was such a like 80s joke.
I know, that's why
I
did
can't
it.
wait to hear some pronounce it as Digimans.
Someone would.
Man.
Was there? No. I don't have any characters that would be able to cast that spell. Black hole.
Black hole.
I don't. What
I
levels?
have no idea what that is.
I'm looking it up right now.
What's up with your doggo use?
It's a level 9 spell.
A bone-shaped club.
Are
A
you serious
club?
about the bone?
Just a club. What the hell is your dog
Did he
doing?
just take a bone and just like, it's a this works?
You know, inscribe some like holy symbols on it or whatever.
Okay.
It works. Bone-shaped mace. The
Yeah,
bone
bone-shaped
mace.
mace. You know what? I'm for this now. This is definitely up my alley.
It has a little script on it that says "Diggy Hole."
Could be.
Well, oh god, this dog is super strange.
Yeah,
Oh.
I like Spirit Waker's suggestion. The club has gnaw marks on it.
Yeah, we know. Oh, put the
No
gnaw marks on it. Beautiful.
Slightly used.
Sometimes
It's
he
in better
can't control.
days.
Sometimes he can't control himself.
I was a bad dog once.
I carried this bone to a tune. And to
I
remind
got into a plate of brownies.
Oh God. No, not the dog.
So, like, so I see the video, not a video. So someone shared a photo recently of a dog that got into the what was it? I think they got into the Munchables of some person, their owner, obviously. They're taking my dog to the bed, and they got into the Munchables, and the dog literally is just like mouth open, eyes red, almost like watery, just like like that.
I'm so hungry, man.
It's like, oh no, poor dog. It's insane. I felt so bad for that dog. Someone said, "Oh God, isn't that like dangerous for them?" I was like, "Oh no, I don't want to laugh. It's actually pain." But it looks so happy.
No, if it was like the brownie
So if a
edibles,
dog gets the munchies, would that be the like the chompies or something?
God damn it.
Just a club. Alright, let's fix that fucking shield. Looks like it. I assume he wears a shield unless he's well, it's just one of those double-handed boys.
Well, so far I haven't made the character yet, so yeah, it's whatever you want it to be, buddy.
Hey, no. This is your character. You give input.
Yeah, you have to give me the evolution and be like, well, it would be cool if he had wings and he shoot fire from his eyeballs and
Laser eyes.
there they go. This dog is deadly.
Shield's fine. Shield works.
Hey, it gets you ideas for what
Gotta
you can
boost
do.
that AC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean like
Paladins are hard
this?
to kill. That's the trope, I think. Paladins are hard to kill. They can heal themselves. They have a good dice. They usually have heavy armor and wear shields. Lay on hands is like, just I touch you and you heal or get away from a disease. Eventually, they just become immune to disease and shit like that.
Okay, so fun story. Barbarians at a certain level for a very specific subclass for 5e actually become physically invincible. Like, you cannot kill them unless you have a special effect that takes place once they hit 0. If you have a Path of the Zealot barbarian at level 15, it literally cannot die.
Oh yeah.
As long as your rage is up, you cannot die. And your rage lasts forever at that level. So it's just like, yes, you can literally solo an ancient dragon or whatever you want, as long as they don't have anything that kills you at 0 hit points.
There's some caveat about the rage though. Like, rage ends. Well, no, actually, you just said it's permanent unless you wish it to end, right?
Unless you wish it to end.
Because
Or if you're like put to sleep or something, then lights out.
Okay.
But
You can't enter the.
I think you're kind of glad we're not playing as as barbarians then.
The old
I
barbarian
would like-
party.
I would like to play Barbarian sometime. Flavor-wise, they're interesting. Just like you know, aside from just the big stupid hulky brute. You know, I'm sure you could do something interesting with a Barbarian. But like, Path of the Zealot, like in paper it looks super strong, but some people have called out that as like, yeah, you just do a lot of damage, but that's it. People can easily just ignore you and kill your party first. And I'm like, yeah, but you still are fucking D12 fucking monster healing everybody with a big ass cleaver hammer. So if they want to ignore you, that's fine. You're still doing your damage. But if they focus you down, your cleric or paladin can just be like, oh, get back up for no fucking price whatsoever. Just one spell slot brings you back essentially. No need for diamonds or whatever, and you're ready to go again.
Get over here!
Get the fuck up, wanker. One I would like to try that a lot of people say it's bad, with good reason, it's Berserker. Just because of the thematic. And I think the features are kinda cool. Even if they're bad. It's like, oh no, exhaustion. Yeah, but if I have only 1 or 2 exhaustion, then I'm not really fucking risking my life. Like, ability checks are like, for a barbarian, are usually strength related. And if I'm, you know, raging, I have advantage on strength related shit, so you know, does it really matter?
Yeah, the worst it could be is normal check.
Yeah. I think the next step is movement, which, yeah, movement is bad, you know, you cannot chase effectively, but you still have some free speed if you're unarmored, I think, and I think they added new features about, like, jumping and shit like that. So, movement and disability and ability disadvantage it's a fair price to pay for, like, yeah, a bonus action attack every single turn. Especially since you're like, well, aside from like, yeah, that's exactly the price. And then you get a lot of other features. You cannot be charmed or frightened or anything. So just like, I am angry now. That's how I am right now. And also like, yeah, you can frighten people. That's kind of bad because it's charisma based, but whatever. And then there's like one more. I think if you get hit, you hit back as a reaction. So like,
You hit me, I hit you harder.
yeah. Essentially, you hit the barbarian with like a single attack, and then he hits you back with a big fucking scary attack. Berserkers in theory are cool. The exhaustion really intimidates a lot of people. But like, it only kills you for like 6. Like, if you're gonna fight like shades or something that causes exhaustion, you probably shouldn't be using that thing. And after a day of killing, you probably already go to your long rest, and that's it. There's a lot of classes I would like to play. I have only tried Fighter twice, which is part of the problem.
I need to do a druid. I need to play more as a cleric. I haven't done a paladin yet.
That seems fun.
I also haven't done wizard.
Somehow that's not surprising. I think Wizard is not like super popular. Unless you like, you know, what you're getting into. It's like, yeah, why be a wizard when you can be a sorcerer, I guess? Or why be a wizard when you can be a necromancer, a warlock?
Why pay
Or-
for spells when you can get them for free?
Basically. The whole payment thing is probably like the thing that pushes me away from wizard the most. Even if it's not that bad, but like
Well,
having attacks for like ultimate power seems to a spoiled little shit like me that play the prepared casters. It's like, why? Why should I pay for this if I could get it here? Well, because then you can have everything. I was like, but I don't need anything, everything. Whenever do I need all the spells in the world if I'm just gonna be fireballing everything?
Spencer, any classes that you've wanted to try?
Personally, wizard. Actually, I've always wanted to try a wizard. I've never really actually gotten to play as a wizard, so that would be an interesting choice. I wanted to try a paladin of redemption.
So that's
I think
what
that would. Yeah, that's the whole reason. I mean, spoiler warning: my dog's name is Tucker, and I say "my" loosely because technically it's my parents' dog, but we kind of been together so long it just feels like my dog. And
Oh,
we're always happy to see each other, so it's always cute and adorable. But Tucker Van Mora is Moran, which is my last name. So,
oh,
and technically it should be O Mora, but just go with the Van because it rolls off the tongue better.
Van Mora?
I like the way you think, Spirit Waker.
I mean, God. You're making me think about like doing a cat folk based on one of my old cats now.
I know, right? Kind of pay homage to all of your old pets.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I had a cat named Mystic, and he was a Russian blue. So he passed away a couple years ago, and he was a great cat.
Condolences.
Mm-hmm. But now it makes me want to play just this talk with Tucker staring me in the face is like, I should really make a cat folk. The only question, do I make him a wizard or a sorcerer?
What vibes did your
The
cat
next
give?
question is, do you do that in 2E or 5E?
That is one of those things. Like, I can make up the character, have a cool what they look like, but if I was to throw what system,
Go ahead.
it is one of those systems that it's like, I don't know what system.
It's funny to think about Tavax is like they went into the de facto catfolk races, but they're supposed to be like cheetahs and shit like that. Or at least at the beginning were like it's supposed to just be like, you know, cheetahs and jaguars and shit like that. But then
Big
everyone's
cats.
like, yeah, they're cats now. They're like domestic ass fucking cat sphinxes.
Well, with friggin' Mystic Odysseys of Theros, they also have the Leonin, which are basically just more cat folk. Strength based.
I thought that book was it was so sad to me. That book was disappointing.
Really?
I have it on my shelf. I haven't read it.
I know fucking Greek and Roman, you know, mythology take of it because that's a really fun thing, in my opinion. I really always like that.
I heard it has some really great like suggestions for like player to deity interactions and suggestions there, but I haven't read it. I feel bad.
Leonin, your constitution score increases by 2 and your strength increases by 1.
There's a rune bone that gives a +5 to attack and a +5 to speed, and dragon bone armor for a wolf race. Is that homebrew? I'm just reading the chat here because I haven't heard of that before. But going back to like material in Wizards of the Coast, don't get me wrong, I heard the monsters also in that book are really good. It just, when I was looking at it, I was hoping for less rehash. I get it's because it's supposed to help you set the theme of the world and get an idea. But I was hoping for more, if that made sense.
Mm-hmm. I think Zed has also brought up this point, but there's a lot about 5e that relies mostly on this is suggestions for you to make your own homebrew, right? Because there, a lot of the officially published content, yeah, you can play through it, but for the most part, you're going to homebrew because that's just what you do for 5e. It's very loose. It's very, very loose. And even my campaign doesn't get away from some of the homebrew because you get all those delicious homebrew items that I keep throwing at you guys with
And you love
all sorts of unique curses on them.
You like homebrewing items.
I do. I don't like homebrewing mechanics as much, and I really don't like homebrewing races for the primary reason that I'm terrible at balancing that kind of crap. So it's just like, I don't think that's a great idea.
Honestly, items feel like a good place to like add your little spice because items like you decide when players get them, you decide what they do and like what limits they provide. It's like it's less about balancing and most about you think it's fun. It's like if it has a cool effect, then you will like think, well, this is probably too strong. You go, well, use it once per day, or once every 2 days, or something like that. You kind of limit the use of like racial like stats and shit like that, you know. But you can like ration how much a
I
player
think-
can use a feature of an item.
Don't get me wrong. I think the 5e is great that you can make a lot of the stuff up on your own. But if you're trying to balance it, oh my god, it's
Nope.
like good luck. So long and thanks for all the fish. So sad it had to come to this.
Hey, how come your DM lets you fight 2 Garistros? Homebrew.
God, I think the other. Don't get me wrong. In some ways, I think homebrew is fantastic, and like especially if the DM's having fun with it and it's approved by the DM, it can be great. But there is some homebrew that I'm just like, what the frick is this shit?
It's homebrew. This is like a walking little creature spewing acid everywhere. It's like
Like the tune races. Did you ever see the homebrew for tunes for 5e?
I think
my
I
God.
saw that. I didn't look at it. I honestly don't look at most of the homebrew stuff out there because it's like I'm never going to allow this in one of my games, and I'm never going to ask for this. So why bother, right?
Never asked for this.
I didn't ask for this.
I mean, one thing I would say is that Zed is really good at doing balanced homebrew, and trying to make it balanced. But I definitely think his Pathfinder 2e homebrew has been way more balanced than any 5e homebrew I've seen.
Sid knows their shit.
Is that as
He's
good?
got he has had time to like DM a little, but also like he takes it like passionately to studying and analyzing how something might be unbuyable,
Mm-hmm.
but also like balanced. But
Zed
also
is
the-
big on mechanics.
Yeah. So Pathfinder, Starfinder, tickle his in good ways.
They tickle his MO.
Yeah. But don't get me wrong, I enjoy 5e. I think it's a great system. Especially getting into tabletop, everything else can be so terrifying.
It is fast and easy to learn, which is everything I can't say about Shadowrun.
I'm curious if that's the issue with like Call of Cthulhu too.
Maybe, I don't know. No, I Shadowrun is very rules heavy.
Oh,
Um, Very, very rules heavy. They've got like, yes, you're firing your gun. Okay, you got what's the wind speed? What's the lighting? How well is visibility? How far away are you? You're gonna
Oh my
add
God.
like difficulty modifiers based on that. Okay, you need to get this many hits in order to hit. Okay, you hit. Let's determine based on this character's body armor, how much damage can they resist. They have to roll for this as well. And to make matters worse, it's all based on a D6 system.
a D6 system.
D6. So you're rolling like at higher ranks or whatever, you're rolling upwards of like 20 D6.
Why? Why would you even do that?
It's so stupid. But that's the way it is, I guess. It's, in my opinion, it is a system that is designed to be run as a simulation on a computer.
I kind of like the more that you tell me, the more I'm like, oh my god, it does sound like that.
The risk I took was calculated, but man, I'm shitted, man.
Spencer, are these the colors you picked for him?
I didn't pick any colors. I'm just here to see what happens.
Hey,
I'm not getting any directions. I'm going on my own. This is when I'm going unhinged.
Oh, you started coloring. I was like, I don't remember there being color discussion at all.
Off and on.
Hey, I'm just along for the ride.
This is your character.
You have to tell me what to do. In
Looks
a way.
good so far.
That's basically, you're saying that because you're lazy to want to think.
You're right.
I'm over here like, Spencer, give him some directions.
Alright, if I do something heinous, like, I don't know, give him a mustache or something, you will call me out.
I will tell you right now that the reference photo that you have up right now looks an awful lot like Tucker.
Oh.
So maybe a bit more orangey looking.
That, honestly, that is so... I like this character.
He's my little buddy.
Hey, little buddy.
Hey, little buddy.
God.
Oh god, oh fuck, there we go.
Legend of the Five Rings was a pure D10 system. Legend of the Five Rings? What system is that?
There's a Sonic game like that.
Well, yes, there is a Sonic game. Oh, is the setting? Blah, blah,
Yes,
blah.
it's that Sonic game where Mario goes to the Olympics.
No, you rascals. The one where he goes to like Aladdin or something like that.
You're
Goes
both
to
wrong.
the Aladdin to fight the Black Knights.
That's another one. was that speaking of games that people remember, but like, I guess there were games like that. It's like Sonic and the Seven Rings and Sonic and the Black Knight and Sonic Underground. So yeah, I guess there
Sonic
were
Underground's
there
a
were games.
show.
Oh
Speaking of
gosh,
the
I
game.
remember when that was on TV.
See, I remember the old Sonic, like, with
Sonic Unleashed. What's the one that he turned into a fucking werewolf?
Unleashed.
Unleashed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Confusing.
I think one of the funniest, speaking of the funniest memes I've seen is like when a DM's interviewing a player for what kind of character they want to bring, and the player's trying to sneak in a Sonic OC.
I mean, sure. Like, if you can fucking like make it work, I don't care what the source material is.
I don't. I as long as it works. But this person was straight up like trying to put a Sonic character.
Like, mono eye and everything.
Goes fast and has blue hair.
Go fucking play Sonic. What's the the newest one where you get to make your own character?
Sonic Forces.
Versus, yeah,
That
thank you.
one.
So I saw many people were so happy about that one. It's like, I could make my Sonic OC. He's holding hands with Davey. And it's like, wow. The happiness in these children.
I don't get it.
I didn't know I was not a Sonic kid. I was a Mario kid. And then I stopped being a Mario kid.
See, Forte is actually a bigger Sonic fan than I am. I never played any of the Sonic games. I saw the shows and stuff. Never played the games.
Sad AM was my jam growing up, but
Play Sonic Pinball, that's it.
Yeah,
yeah, right.
I like when I was growing up, like what got me into video games was actually like more Pokemon. But ironically, the first video game that I can recall that I ever played was not actually a Pokemon game. It wasn't even Mario. It goes back to our topic of earlier, but it was the first Digimon game. And how hard of it was a hard-ass game.
The first game I ever played was a fucking Daffy Duck game. Either that or a Scooby-Doo game that I could never find again. So it's just like lost in my memories forever. And I'm like, that's kind of sad.
Let's see. The first game I ever played console-wise was Super Mario Bros. The original. First game I ever played. Oh, jeez. We're talking like Apple II. It was like a ripped-off version of what was it called?
King's Quest.
Yes, actually. Well, actually, King's Quest came later. I think it was like called Archon or something. It was this chess game that you could play with these weird characters that did things, and I didn't understand it at the time because I was like 8. But it was a whole lot of fun. And we had all these rip-off video games. I didn't realize they were rip-off at the time, but we had them. And played a lot of interesting stuff.
I mean, growing up with console games, I scarcely had original games. The console I got to play the most was a PlayStation 2, and I had 0 original games. I had a lot of just cracked ass games that people would sell on shops nearby my house.
Oh god.
Yeah.
See, I remember the first system, like when PS2 is definitely one of those that is engraved that was a major system for me. But I remember I didn't want the PS2 originally. I wanted a GameCube, but my folks got convinced by a dude at, I think it was like EB Toys or something, like gave them the whole spiel that the PlayStation was better.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I don't disagree looking back at it, but I'm kind of bitter because I still wanted it a GameCube.
First console I ever owned was an N64. That was an incredible Christmas for me because I never expected to get anything like that. And the reason I got it was because I was going over to visit my friends at their house who were playing violent video games that my parents didn't want me to play. So go figure.
That's fair. It happens.
To answer Yoshimin's question, yeah, the Demon Slayer campaign that we did do before was really fun. I'm sad that it ended. the way that it did, but it was fun while it lasted. But going back to the video game talks, but I think what game that sold me on my PlayStation 2 was SSX Tricky, if anyone remembers that.
Nope. Never owned a PS2.
Okay, so it was a snowboarding game, and you just got to do all sorts of really, like, the best way I can describe it, it said, screw reality of snowboarding. Let's do the cool version of snowboarding. That you can do, like, tricks that make no sense and break reality.
I had a game like that. I think it was like Microsoft Snowboarding 2000 or something similar to that. But I had it for the Xbox, and it was actually a whole lot of fun because it had this really really interesting campaign mode that they had for it. Where you could like create your character and then level up your skills or whatever to get better at all this stuff, and you buy boards and things like that and just get better and better until you're just doing these crazy insane tricks. And then a so-called friend of mine from Boy Scouts borrowed the game and never returned it.
Sorry, that's the worst. I've been there. I was only the asshole who took a game and never returned it. Most of the time, I gave it back. But there was this one time where I was so hurried for trying to play Warcraft 3 that I shoved the disc in forcefully, and it fucking just scratched like a motherfucker.
Oh.
I was so disappointed. I never wanted to look at that person again. But they were cool with it because they had the file somewhere, so they would just port it again. But it was like, I never want to ask anything.
Okay, so I remember Warcraft 3. That was a really fun game.
I fucking love.
I came off of that after playing StarCraft, though, so I was just like, why isn't this working the way I understood it?
Oh. Yeah. I'm the other way around. I fucking play Warcraft poorly all the time, but then I tried StarCraft and I'm like, I don't understand what's happening. What's all this shit? This bean gas? What's happening?
Yeah, I played StarCraft, Brood War, all of that back at the height of the BattleNet days.
Ooh.
That was a time. I didn't realize it at the time, and people call bullshit on this, and I totally understand. But the one time that I went onto the Korea server, I got decimated by some guy called Slayer's Boxer.
Sorry. It's slowly gaining on me.
Slayer's Boxer. I thought you were going to continue. Is there more to this story about this person? I'm interested.
Slayer's Boxer is a famous Korean player.
Oh!
It was probably just a like a fan or something.
Yeah.
But it got absolutely destroyed by this guy in under 4 minutes. I was just like, yeah, I'm never come back to this server again.
Gotta be careful.
How if he was the guy, or even if like playing against such a high skill player, like in your first match, is like I'm never going there. It's like I'm never reaching this skill level. Fuck this game.
I think the best match I ever had was against a different enthusiast on the America server. I can't even remember his name for the life of me, which is a shame. But we ended up playing an hour-long game in StarCraft that ended when we ran out of minerals on the entire map. We were down to like the characters that we had left, and he ended up winning with one Marine.
This is pretty fucking badass.
Zerg versus Terran, and that's how it ended.
God,
Man.
speaking of like playing with all right, have you ever played with a pro?
Can't say that I have, no.
All right, so League of Legends, I actually got to play with a pro player.
Nice.
It was he was a member of Team Liquid at the time.
Liquid's
God.
been around.
God, I feel so bad. I don't think he plays anymore. But basically, one of my buddies that I knew playing League at the time was dating his sister, so they became friends.
Oh no.
What the fuck is this?
So we got invited to play a game with him in ranked as a 5-man, and his shot calling was so terrifying that it just.
Please, I'm just trying to fucking play.
It was so good. It's gonna bug me now. Now I need to look up like past.
Like, way back, I wouldn't even know. I don't follow competitive scenes of almost anything.
I follow leagues just because I still like to watch League of Legends competitively. Like I don't.
I cannot relate to that. I'm sorry.
No. It's all good. It's all good. I think it was Quaz.
I could not get into League for the life of me.
I
got in because of the characters, to be frank.
the characters.
Yeah, I bought like an Ari, and that's about it.
I got into the league because of the characters too.
I left because of the players.
I haven't played as much as I used to. I still buy characters, but I don't play it as much.
So,
I'm a new character.
why
Like,
though?
Well, it's because I have a bunch of points still. What I mean by buy is I have a bunch of points and I buy them for free.
you combine the characters with points you get for just playing. So, like, you don't have to pay real money to get the characters. You can if you're, like, lazy and just want the shit. But, like, you can easily just grind for them. For some reason, one day I decided, well, you know what? I'm gonna have all the characters for when I get the urge to play them. I have maybe like fucking 50 characters now in my roster that I don't ever touch.
I'm gonna break down and say I have all the characters.
No, yeah, me too. Like I said, for some reason I decided to have all of them, and now they're just sitting there. 0 games ever. I'm like, yeah, but you know what? Someday I might, when I know I won't.
Oh yeah.
On
So
a
yeah,
side
no.
note, I haven't installed League of Legends on the new computer yet, and honestly, I have no urge to do so. So let's see how long I can go.
I mean,
Part of me wants to get you guys into Elite Dangerous. Part of me knows better.
I'm interested. Why?
Okay, so do you know what Elite Dangerous is?
I'm looking it up right now. It's the spaceship one.
It is a spaceship game. It is well known for having some pretty good VR. Putting that right there, it's highly immersive. I've never experienced it myself, but I'd like to. I own the game. I also own the pre-order for the expansion Odyssey, which comes out this month, actually, the 29th. It's I kind of have a love-hate relationship with the game because I haven't experienced anything like it as far as like dogfighting goes, because it has some really intense, interesting dogfighting for PvP. Like you go into flight assist off and you've got 6 degrees of freedom, quasi Newtonian physics, so it behaves mostly like it should in like real space, where you can just kind of head off in a direction, flip around, and shoot at something chasing you. That kind of deal. And it's really interesting in my viewpoint, and I picked it up recently again, and I've been really enjoying it. It has definite flaws. It's kind of grindy, kind of super grindy in a way.
I'm embarrassed to admit that I often avoid like super sci-fi games because they tend to be super hard to understand at first, and if I don't get something in like maybe the first 20 minutes, I quit.
Yeah, this is closer to space sim than space game, in my opinion, because it's just like, yep, most of this is traveling. Yep.
Yep. Like
Yep,
resource managing.
I'm gonna go to this station so I can pick something up. I'll see you in 5 minutes. Turn on the super cruise and go make tea.
For
But,
some reason, like I say, oh, Warcraft is one of my favorite games. I also say that I suck at it. I love the aesthetic and fucking playing as orcs and shit like that. I kind of fucking operate the base in real time to save my life, or the lives of my poor fucking people. So I just fucking make a little city, like barely functioning, and then I remember, oh yeah, I'm being attacked. And then I lose.
I should do something about that.
I forgot there's actual combat in this game. It's not just maintain a little city.
The plants, they are hurting.
The trees have eyes, and they have bows and arrows, and they're killing me.
Okay, so legit question: did anyone actually here play World of Warcraft? Just on
Nope.
this? No, neither did I.
Never left it. Played for like 10 minutes. I made a torrent. I walked up into an NPC area I shouldn't have, and then I died. And I was like, cool. I never fucking play this again. I think some people let me use some cool guys at the at like an arcade were playing it. I was like, I would like to play Warcraft, but I don't have an account. I was like, yeah, I'll let you try mine. Then I make a torrent, and I walk up to like a strange like circle of like lady torrents. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Then I see like a level 70 NPC charge at me. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And then I just die. I'm like, what's happening?
Bum, bum, bum.
I don't understand this game. So yeah, then I see what it became, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm glad. I'm glad I didn't get into it. I wouldn't have the patience for that.
I
Dodged a bullet there.
Yeah.
see the thing is, like, I never got into MMOs. Like, I tried picking some up. It just never clicked with me.
I was super into MapleStory. I was super into MapleStory.
I tried Maple
That
Story.
does not surprise me. And I can't explain why.
Things that we are learning tonight.
One of the main factors why I like MapleStory and I played it so much, it was because it was free, of course. I did not have the leisure of going around playing video games that, needed to fucking get a membership because of the, money, like, dollars would eat up resources in this country like you have no idea. So free games like MapleStory or like Witch Online or fucking Gaia or fucking I don't fucking know, like Fly. I would go like, it's free, I'm into it, and then I would just play it. Then I started to realize how tedious it becomes to play an MMORPG. At some point, you're just doing tasks over and over, and it's like, I need to stop. MapleStory was such a fucking offender to that. Gather 500 snail shells to get this cool thing. And I'm like,
500 snail shells.
I only have like 23 and it's been an hour. I am out of here.
Oh my god.
Because not only like they are, of course, like not only they are special shells, they don't drop all the time. And what's worse, like to grab an item, you had to like stand on top of it as it floats and press C. So like hold C so like the character just like grabs it. But since I was playing in my country in a fucking North American server, most of the time the things would despawn before I would be able to get them. Or worse, some asshole just fucking runs in with their mega mount, just fucking pressing C faster than I do and takes the stuff and leaves me. And I just had to
Aw.
sit there and be like, "There's nothing I can do." Just stop playing that shit. I heard it became better, but I didn't. I didn't even dare to go check it. Fuck pros in video games. Abusing the poor
Like-
little player.
So speaking of free online games, just because you made me think about it with Maple Story, does anyone here remember Battle On Adventure Quest?
I tried
Oh
it.
God! Yes,
I knew I would get.
yes, I know that game, and I hate it to this day.
I still have my Guardian account.
That was Flash based, wasn't it?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
Flash is dead. I hope they updated that. Otherwise, that whole website's just gone.
You know, it makes me want to go look at it now because I
Don't
had
do
a-
it. Don't do it, Fel. Spare yourself.
What's funny is that I actually, like, years later, I still am able to log into my old account. Years.
I think people feel the same way about RuneScape.
Oh, RuneScape, yeah.
And then people go, oh shit, oh no, I'm back. Well, time to go to the marketplace.
Nothing changed.
Ah, nostalgia. We meet again.
But, God, Adventure Quest definitely was, I think, one of the first kind of major fantasy things I definitely played. And then I remember it got weird after a while.
It was always weird, Fel.
You guys remember Tibia?
What one?
Tibia, like Tibia. It was just like maybe a thing on where I was living at.
I've
I
never
do
heard
not
of it
know
before.
of this. I'm actually interested in hearing about this from you now.
It was really old. Like it was a top-down character, which you just play like a little character from like top down. It was basically just sprites moving around. So like you have your little character walking around. Like it will change depending on your class. That was cool. And everything was like top down. So like you were looking like on a grid. So like you would move one square at a time. And in combat, you just have like I don't know, a fucking giant demon just being like behind you and shit like that. And you just see red numbers because it was kicking your ass. And like I remember, like I never played it with my friend, but he played it a lot. And I just watched him play, and I was like, "Wow, that's really cool! Look at the demon! Look at the giant fucking demon sprite attacking you!" And then we get like weird servers and shit, and there was like a giant squirrel, and we're like, "Oh, let's go kill the squirrel!" And the squirrel would be harder than the demon to kill. And I'm like, "This game is fucking insane! I love it." But like that was it. Honestly, you start a shitty island. Okay, I remember now why I never played it. The first time I tried playing it, I fucking finished the introductory island. I get to the fucking main like island to actually play the game. I get gift immediately. A high level player just fucking charges at me, just kills me, and I just have to sit there and contemplate how fucking ugly PvP is. Fucking never hated anything more in my life. As a child, just trying to play a game and dying to someone that was better just because they could. And I never had a chance to fight back. So I was just like, yeah, fuck that. I'm not playing a game like this. Video games.
Yeah, I mean, video games in a way led me to my love of tabletop now. So,
Absolutely.
That's fair. That's fair.
God, just. So, Spencer, was your. So, I think you talked about it, but your first session was 3.5.
Correct.
How did that go?
We had several sessions before the campaign abruptly ended. We were I small party. I think Zed was playing Cecil at the time.
Hey.
I was playing Thissa, and there were some other people in the party as well. And we ended up playing this really weird scenario where we were going out to it was called like the Dragon of Crystal Mount or something like that, and we went up to go fight the dragon because some crazy weirdo in town said, "Oh, we gotta kill the dragon, otherwise all these problems are gonna happen." Blah 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 blah. Yeah, okay. So we took a couple things to level up and then went off to go fight this dragon or whatever it might be because we had no idea and we had hardly played this game before. So we went up and ended up fighting a prismatic elder dragon.
That doesn't sound easy.
That doesn't sound.
4.
What? What is a prismatic elder dragon? What?
It's probably fuck you character mode. Level 4 fighting a dragon. An ancient dragon of any kind. Get out of here.
So of course we bitched about it.
You can't fucking
and
do it.
it ended up with an abrupt rules change, which ended with us actually killing the dragon, and then it barrel rolled into a rocks fall, everybody dies scenario.
Oh God.
it was the universe imploded or something, and everybody was cast adrift and ended up on some weird battlefield or something or other, and yeah.
That's how Thesa was
Yep.
born.
Yep. Thank you, Spirit Waker. Thank you for affirming that.
God. That just sounds like a. Sounds like
That
a.
is how this ended up where he is now.
So you've just took that story and like, all right, this is Thesa's backstory now.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, no, his original story was like he had some like scroll of naming or some weird crap like that a rogue had stolen. So he was running off to find that scroll because it apparently was some important thing for his tribe or whatever, and it evolved past that. But it was I put as much thought into the character back then as I would sneezing.
I hope this is doing okay. We haven't
Speaking
seen
of-
him in a while. It's weird that we're doing all these chores for him essentially, and he hasn't like communicated. It's like,
Well, I mean, how?
might get a fucking wizard or something to get inside your brain and be like sending us. Working with a warrior that has no magic whatsoever. It's just like, all right, guys, you go that way, I'll go this way. And we never saw him again. I guess any of our characters that actually met him that has sending could do it. Like Sal could do it, I think.
I mean, yeah, Sal could reach.
Sal
like,
has a
he has
reason
some-
to, though, so it's just like, yeah, I will respect the fact that the players went the other direction. That's fine. Suck
mean-
it up and move on.
My choice, we swear.
Elder. Not
El-
ancient. Elder.
Dragons. Dragons are scary at any level. I think first time I played the DND, not the first, but like the second time I played with some friends. I think at level 1, the DM tossed us a wormling or something like that. That was hoarding some treasure, and we were like, "Cool treasure," and immediately, me not understanding too well, it's like, let's just grab all the fucking treasure. Steal from a dragon's hoard, I get yelled at immediately. I'm like, oh, fine, I'll just take a little, I guess. It's like, it was such a beta gamey game too, because like the 2 players I was playing with were like so fucking like munchkinny. And I didn't know it at the time, but now I know. It's like, I'm playing a cleric and I have this and this and that, and it's like, cleric, they will say this so fucking confidently. Oh, cleric is the best class, and that's why I play it. And I'm like, Even back then, I was like, that doesn't sound okay. But you know what?
So
It's not my problem.
so here's a question. So obviously we all know that Forte is a munchkin. Let's all be honest.
Yes.
But is he the fun kind of munchkin?
The Funchkin?
Yes.
He's fun as a character, but like
I
in the same his character in the same thing he plays, I was like busted.
strikes
I
a
will-
weird balance for me because he's a fun player. He
Yeah.
comes up with really fun ideas. The power gaming drives me up the wall, though.
But who's worse at it, him or Zed?
Characterize Zed as a rules lawyer
Okay.
more than a power gamer. Whereas Forte's probably the other way around.
Okay.
Because
I think
Forte
it
has
would.
the encyclopedic knowledge of all things Pathfinder, and I recognize that. And he constantly tries to apply it to 5e, and I have to keep going, no. But Zed balances that out because he's also super into the rules of 5e, so it's just like, yeah, okay, what he said.
I mean, I'm not into the super roles of. I obviously, when I need to look up something, I make sure I read it so I understand it. But I would definitely say that Forte is a munchkin, but he's in roleplay wise, he's not the boring kind of munchkin. He legit tries making the characters fun to play with. It's just when you look at the character stats, you're like, what the frick is this?
It's the bastard build.
The way Forte says and behaves, like the way I would describe it is like Forte would never intentionally. Well, maybe not never. I haven't had much experience with Forte. Maybe you can attest to this, Fel. But I don't think he would ever play something that's not at least good.
He's done. So his theory is that he will look at different builds and he'll go for the build that is unorthodox, but maximize it to its best potential.
But I don't think he would intentionally play a bad thing. Unless you can say
I can't really
otherwise,
think. I
I'm willing to believe
can't
that.
really think of anything bad. I mean, I can agree with that he doesn't play any. Again, he will play something, but he'll make sure that it's the best that he can make it. So
Only
it doesn't.
have Edgar and Ponzi to look at. And...
Yeah, but those are 5e characters. I'm looking
I
at
know
like.
Bobby is less busted as in terms of like munchkiness, but like that doesn't help the case. Like he's going directly for the things that may be strong immediately, like fucking blade lock with hexblade and maybe blade singing with swashbuckler.
Hey, I mean, I love swashbucklers, so that's. I mean, you could argue that
one.
in
He's played
5e,
more.
in 5e. Let's put it that way. In 5e, I've only played
Okay.
one. Pathfinder kind of ruined me with swashbuckler.
Whenever you come up to Portland, I need to take you over to Guardian Games because I think you'd get a kick out of the place.
I think that sounds amazing.
Bring money. You will spend it.
Okay, what I'm here. I don't think we mentioned this, but one of these times we're actually trying to save money and plan a trip to Japan.
Oh, okay.
You want to go?
Maybe.
Forte
Funny
speaks-
part is, I recently updated my passport, so feasibly I could.
I need to get my passport up to Moss. We need to get you a passport.
This is gonna take a while because I need to cross the fucking. I have to cross my region to get my passport updated.
You have to.
I think that's only to Europe though. I'm
Uh,
also not a huge travel person. I am much comfortable sitting in my room. That's the problem.
I mean,
I'm a sedentary person.
I think we're all used to just chilling in our own spaces and whatnot. I remember like,
Well, COVID.
yeah, I mean that's done it. 2 years ago.
My lifestyle did not change one bit, pre or after COVID.
I mean,
Nothing changed.
Yeah.
I know for myself that it definitely changed because when I was doing the conventions and stuff. Don't get me wrong, traveling to different places in the States was fun, but holy crap, I did not have like a weekend to myself. I would get home Mondays or late Sunday nights, and then I would either leave Thursday or Friday.
Question.
Yeah.
Did you ever encounter an individual named Crows on the convention circuit?
Crows.
The animal?
What did they do?
Tended to be kind of a con organizer kind of person. Hardly ever slept. Always wore like I think it was a trilby or something.
What conventions would they have done?
Yomicon. I remember seeing him at like BronyCon a couple times, as well as a few others. But Yomicon was the big one that he used to be on.
I didn't do Yomicon. So I probably haven't met Crows unless he went to.
Probably not.
The only thing I can think of is that I did go to Anime Week in Atlanta that year. I was actually for one of my own fun trips. That was fun. Except what's happened recent, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Moving on. That wasn't my one of the worst shows I ever did traveling to conventions was it was actually in Atlanta too. It was Walker Stalker.
Sensing a pattern here.
It was Walker Stalker Con. For anyone who doesn't know what that is, that's the Walking Dead themed conventions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For a second, I thought, like, what, you stalked Chuck Norris or something?
Yes, I stalked Chuck Norris.
I live to tell the tale. And remember
Three
when Chuck
roundhouse kicks later. Da-da-da-da-da.
remember when Chuck Norris was a fun meme and not like a fucking sexist asshole?
Oh God, yeah.
Man, childhood sucks.
So, that was also the worst show for me. Well, actually, it wasn't the worst show in terms of like, it was the worst because I didn't make, it wasn't good sale wise, and a lot of crappy stuff happened to me in terms of like, it was raining. I had to run with my product through the rain. My phone broke.
Jeez, I'm sorry.
It was really rough, but it wasn't as bad as the worst show, which was in when I went to Philly. Did I ever tell you what happened to me at and when I went to, I forget the name of the convention, but it was like one of those that technically you have to do it to be a part of New York Comic Con.
I don't think you have.
Okay. So, how do I begin the story? Because I think you're just going to be like, what the hell, Fel? So, here's the saying.
I'm
When
braced.
when it rains, it pours. It definitely poured on this day. So I was supposed to take a flight at about 6 o'clock in the morning, and I had a really hard time sleeping. I had a little bit of a talk with my bosses at the time about some of the stuff going on, everything, blah, 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 blah. Couldn't fall asleep. I eventually did fall asleep maybe at like 2 o'clock in the morning. So I was like, okay, I'll get like 3 hours of sleep, and then I'll wake up early, get ready for my flight, make it on time. I wake up because sunlight hits me in the face. I look at the time. It's 6 o'clock. I've missed my flight.
Oh, no.
So I'm already kind of in a freaking panic. So I call the airline, explain that, like, basically said, I had some troubles. I'm on my way. Is there another flight that you can connect me with? They're like, yeah. We have a flight from Austin that you can hop on to, fly to Austin, and then stay on the plane, and then fly to Chicago, and then you should be able to get to Philly. I was like, okay, cool. Well, at the time, Philadelphia was actually in the middle of a really bad weather storm. I forget it wasn't snow, but it was like a rainstorm, really bad. So a lot of air traffic was getting messed up and everything because of it. So I land in Austin, and I decide I'm going to get off the plane, stretch my legs, walk around for a couple minutes, and then get back on the plane on my flight. As soon as I get off at the gate, a gentleman taps me on the shoulder, one of the gate attendants. They're like, excuse me, are you so, like, Fel? I was like, yes. Just wanted to give you a heads up, but the connecting flight that you were supposed to be on has been canceled. I'm like, what? Oh, okay. What are you doing? Well, we're trying to get you another flight. We'll take you to St. Louis. The thing is, the flight's going to be in 4 hours. So I sat at the Austin airport for 4 hours.
Oof.
Now, just to be clear, the Austin airport is beautiful, but holy crap, worst 4 hours of my life. Because the thing was, I was supposed to be there at 1 p.m. Philadelphia time. I hadn't arrived yet. So eventually, I board the plane for St. Louis and everything. I get to St. Louis. I get some food for dinner. They come on the intercoms like, all right, so just as a heads up, we are starting to lower everyone for this flight to Philadelphia. Please start boarding. So we all start boarding our plane. So everyone gets boarded, and we're expected to take off in maybe, 20 minutes. We sat at the gate for an additional 2 hours because of, I forget what the reason, it was like moving of luggage and stuff.
Trying to move luggage from one plane to another, I bet.
Yeah, so it took 2 hours.
Oh.
So I'm exhausted. I landed in Philadelphia about 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm 12 hours late for when I was supposed to be there. I'm tired. I'm like, okay, let's just get my stuff. Let's get to the hotel. And I can sleep and have a little bit of I'll show up early for the show, set up, do what I need to.
Let me guess. They canceled your room.
Well, yeah, you're right on the right track for that one. But that isn't what happened next. All my luggage, beside from my suitcase that I carried with me with all my clothes, so all the prints, my poles, all that didn't arrive. I literally only had a box. One box of prints for the show. I'm tired. I get a ride to the hotel. I try checking into my room, and they tell me I no longer have a room there. I literally had to call my boss at 2 o'clock in the morning saying, I got delayed because of some stuff, blah, 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 and I don't have a room. So they're scrambling at 4 o'clock in the morning to get me someplace so I can sleep. They finally get me a place at a Motel 6. And I probably crash for 2 hours. And I have to keep track of my luggage. My luggage doesn't come in till the next day. So I basically go to the convention with only a box. And because of the story that I told them, I was able to get a free table. But eventually,
that's a bonus.
I got a free table, and then my boss was able to get me a better hotel that was near the convention.
It's not a Motel 6. Holy crap.
Like, because that was the only thing open.
The silver linings in life.
So, silver lining is, after that, it was a great show. Once everything came in, it was one of those days that Tom Holland was supposed to be one of the guests. So all my Spider-Man stuff sold.
Nice.
But, yeah, I'm surprised I never told you that story.
No, this is my first time hearing it, man. That sucks.
Please have that between that line of like nothing happens, so you have nothing to tell about, or everything goes wrong and you have an anecdote.
Yeah, and this is one of those stories that everything went wrong.
I'm so sorry, Phil.
Hey, it was like 2 years ago. It's over and done with. I've just learned, don't miss your fucking flights ever again.
My dad and I had a really bad one I think 2 years ago.
Uh-huh.
We went on time for our plane, so we're like just sitting there waiting. It takes like 5 more hours to get to where we need to. Like, it takes 5 hours for the plane to arrive, and then it takes like 2 hours for it to go off. So like we're already 7 hours late. I suppose 2 hour journey. When we get to the place, after the 2 hours of flight, we have to just fucking stay inside the fucking plane for like 1.5 hours, waiting for like space to open so we could actually dock at the fucking plane. So a 2 hour flight turned into like a 10-hour one.
Oh my god.
Because I think they did some really bad things. I think they just canceled the flight outright, and we were like, well, what do we do? Well, you can wait for the next one. It's gonna fix, we're gonna have to make up for all the things that happened. There were a lot of other problems about that fucking flight that now I cannot remember because I'm kind of tired. But I think, like, yeah, since like it didn't affect us as much. But like, since we got there so late, a lot of people had actually lost their fucking rooms, or even their fucking carriages that would take them home or something.
That's terrible.
And the fucking company didn't do shit about it.
Oh no.
Allegedly, they didn't have to, but like, well, okay, fuck you.
Yeah, no, we like, that was kind of the situation with what happened to me is that they didn't have to hold on to my room. And personally, even though we paid for it, they didn't have to hold on to it. But speaking of Spencer, do you have any horror travel stories?
Oh, I do actually. It was a Youmacon one year.
Oh.
I was working with SFS back then, back when SFS was a thing. I'm sure you remember those days.
I do remember those days.
And one of the years, we had been invited out to Youmacon as guests. So we got to head out there, see the green room and all that jazz. And it was really just a memorable, unique experience for me. But when I wasn't having fun with friends, the flight they had booked for me in order to get over there, for whatever reason, somebody had it out for us, and had booked me a back-to-back flight with a half-hour layover in Chicago.
Oh my god.
And to make and to add to that little piece of work, it was a red eye.
No.
I don't know what that is.
So I ended up leaving Oregon from PDX at like 10 at night.
Oh no.
Arriving 6 hours later over, I think it was 6 hours, maybe it was 4, I don't remember. Some unholy amount of time later in Chicago, sprinting across the airport, trying to find my next flight and making it just in time so I could get over to see my friends over in, I think it was Detroit, Michigan. Yeah, pretty sure it was Detroit. So went the rest of the way, finally got there, and had fun. I was tired as hell, and did the same damn thing again on the way back.
That's so messed up.
It was so messed up. They did not like us at all. And it also didn't help that one of our team members also got incredibly drunk that day and ended up spending a long period of time in the bathroom that we had received, puking his guts out into the tub.
Oh,
Oh no. Oh no.
That was memorable. That was also the last time that cast member was with us.
God damn it. Don't do it before the bat.
See, see, it's interesting that, like, how one. God, it's funny because I'm actually originally from Michigan, so Detroit.
Okay, so
I know.
You know the GM Tower in Detroit,
Yeah,
Michigan,
I do.
right?
I do.
We were on, no joke, like, I want to say the room that we got was like 4 floors up, down from the top floor.
Damn.
We got a suite, and it was a sight, man.
See, that's awesome. Like, it's funny actually. Like, when I started not like doing like when I actually moved out from Michigan to Arizona, it's actually when I started learning about conventions. Because apparently no one talked about conventions when I was living in Michigan. Or else I would have done like conventions a lot sooner.
Maybe it was a dirty little secret. I don't know.
Apparently it was.
I went to like 2 conventions in my whole life, and honestly, I would like to do more, but they're not as common as I would like. In my area, especially.
Yeah. I, having traveled, like, I probably have gone to so many conventions just as a merchant that it's fine. But I was so glad not to be working when I did Anime Expo. And there was a possibility I could have worked that. Thank God I didn't.
I think I've only gone as a attendee to like two conventions. One was Everfree Northwest when that was a thing, and I went to that with friends, and the other one was Wizard World for Portland. And those were the only 2 I ever went to as an attendee. The other ones I went to as guests, and it was just a weird. It was a surreal experience every time.
To do it as a guest or do it as an attendee?
As a guest.
See, me being like one of the salespeople and everything. It was weird for me being an attendee at anime, just because I had been, selling at conventions. So I usually interact with the staff, the rest of the vendors and everything. So to be attendee again, it was kind of like, huh, this is kind of weird. And I was there as actually like a panelist. So.
You mean I don't have to do things?
You mean I'm free?
I'm free.
no.
I can go eat without being stuck at the booth for 12 hours.
A double-edged sword because you tried to do something you would have done in the other scenario. And you're like, oh, sorry, I'm used to being able to do this.
Yeah.
Oh man. Panel stories. Well, no, not panel. I mean con stories.
Con stories, yeah. I think one of the con stories I remember.
Constables.
Okay, I have a con story that I vaguely remember, but it's a good story because of how I vaguely remember.
Okay.
Were you drunk off your ass?
I wasn't drunk, but I can tell you that a normal person might have died what I drank.
Oh my god.
So I went
Just
to
glad.
Phoenix Comic-Con at the time. It's called Phoenix Fan Fest now. Stupid name changes everything. And they had one of those stands that was giving away free energy drinks. It was free 5-hour energy drinks.
Oh.
I had 6 of them.
Oh.
I downed them all at the same time. I don't remember what happened until the next day.
That reminds me of my Starbucks story. So, for a short period of time when I was still in college, I worked at a Starbucks as a sort of a summer job.
I know, I'm going through that right now.
And part of your training at Starbucks is that 30 hours of energy. That's how that works. Part of your training at Starbucks is you have to kind of sample all the drinks that you make, right?
Yep.
And that day, I had made a total of about, I want to say, 14 drinks as part of training. And by the time I came home, I was fucking wired.
See,
and I remember none of it.
oh God. See,
my parents told me I came home talking like 14 miles a second. It was the greatest.
See, to me, that, like, I'm actually doing Starbucks right now because of everything.
Oof.
So I have to be so careful with caffeine. I am so, like, after the 5-hour energy drink thing, I learned that I am very caffeine sensitive. So if I have...
You absorb that stuff through your pores too, so be careful while you're working there, because I was getting some heart palpitations after a while.
Yeah. I mean, even having... I can't have any caffeine after 12 o'clock.
You're fucking. What are you? What's it called? Gremlin? No. Yeah, Gremlin. Don't feed them after 12.
Yeah. Like, I have to be so careful with caffeine.
Don't give Fel water after 12.
Don't give Fel caffeine after 12 or he is up all night and will not fall asleep till 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, that is how caffeine sensitive I am. Like, and it goes back to that 5-hour energy drinks. So the friends I was staying with were saying that I was just rocking back and forth sometimes and just mumbling to myself. And I have no recollection of this.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
I have no memory of this whatsoever. And that's what terrifies me.
Oh my god. A little fiend. Fell in there. A little fiend.
And then I'm watching Forte over here like chug 5 like Dutch Brothers energy drinks to get up early in the morning because he needs caffeine in the morning.
God.
And I'm just
Know
like,
that feeling. I have like 6 cups of coffee a day. It's pretty stupid. I fill up my little carafe that I use for my coffee maker, and I put in the grinds and everything, and I'm just a zombie until I've had my coffee in
Yeah,
the morning, and then I just kind of keep coming back to that pot throughout the day.
do you get caffeine withdrawal headaches if you don't drink?
Sometimes. I don't get headaches per se, but I do get like some anxiety attacks later in the afternoon. I'll feel not necessarily nauseous, but just suddenly get this huge wave of fatigue hit me at about 2-3 o'clock.
Yeah, for Forte, it's if he doesn't have caffeine, he gets a terrible migraine.
See, I can go without it, which is weird. Maybe I just have a high pain tolerance. I don't know. Okay, so have I told you about the worst year of my life?
No.
Okay. Worst year of my life. I can hardly remember it. I think it was either 2017 or 2018. One of those two. A series of misfortunate events happened to me. At the time when the year had started, I was working at Pizza Hut as a delivery driver. This was before I got my job at Intel. Working at Pizza Hut as a delivery driver, doing deliveries and things like that. In a short number of months, several things happened. One, my car broke down, and broke down huge. The engine block threw a rod. It was fucking done. Car over. So ended up losing my job with Pizza Hut. My dog died. And shortly thereafter, I got crippling back pain because I got sciatica on the left leg that turned out to be severe. So I got laid out for 7 months waiting on, I think it was Medicare or Medicaid or something, for them to finally get around to getting me scheduled for a surgery that I badly needed. And let me tell you, that entire year, I was in so much pain. I could not walk. I could not get out of bed. I could hardly pee. I was in so much pain. And it went on like that for 7 months.
God.
So as a result of all that horse shit, I got out of 2017 with 0 sense of pain. Like I bad pain and light pain, it was all the same to me. And because of that, even to this day, anytime I feel like it's the slightest bit of discomfort, I get flashbacks to that 7-month period of just living hell on earth, and I freak the fuck out.
God. No, that is terrible. Jeez. So, Spencer, I think your boy's done. What do you think?
I love him. My boy is done. It's my boy. Thank you, Moss. Thanks, Fel.
No problem, Spencer. Like,
Always a
You've
pleasure
done-
to draw weird shit for my friends.
Aw,
Ah,
inspiration
Yeah.
for you.
no, get out of here. Don't even dare. Oh, my neck hurts though. I need to go to bed soon.
I think we're gonna end it here. Actually, this is a good.
Okay.
I'm the one who's dying.
Well, I'm actually tired too.
Okay.
I mean, it's also like 11:20 here. We've been going for like 2+ hours.
Oh, damn. Yeah, it started streaming 2 hours ago. What do you know?
Yeah, I know, right? So thank
That
you
was
so
quick.
yeah. So thank you so much, guys, for joining us for another kind of chill stream. I'm starting to dig these late at night. Just goofing off and just chilling. So again,
Late night with Fel and crew.
yeah, it is what the fell, but maybe I should just change this to late night with fell. So
You might get a call from CBS or whatever.
but so so once again, I want to thank Moss for coming on and showing off his wonderful drawing skills as he drew the best boy.
The best boy.
If you like any of
If
Moss's,
this turns up in Hell's Vengeance, I'm going to physically harm you.
I'm not going to use it. This is your character, dude. My hands are. You use this character.
Someday.
One day. So
And Doctor and Grace.
So if you liked Moss's stuff, obviously I put a link to his Twitter down below. Give him a follow. And keep an eye out for many of his amazing art that Moss does. I really do recommend it. And then obviously I put Spencer's link down below. Spencer, I know you do voice acting and some music for us.
I do music for you guys?
Well, I mean, you do music for yourself.
I do music for myself, yes.
Yes.
But
we
if
might
you
have
share-
we might have you do music. But that's
It's just like, do I need you to make a confession or something?
no confessions, but
Copyright strikes, here they come. No, I'm not in the system.
But feel free to check out Spencer and all his wonderful antics when he does post. And then obviously you guys know me. I don't have to post anything else. But thank you so much, guys, for enjoying another chilled stream. And we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.